This is Walter Solomon of Wonder Duck Decoys. To add a timer to your Wonder Duck decoy, the first thing you want to do is to determine the direction of your motors. Now this is a Super Wonder Duck paddle wheel and both motors are going forward. If it is a twister where one motor goes one way and the other motor goes the other way, you want to take your instructions, and if it's a paddle wheel or super paddle wheel, you want to use instructions number 1. If it's a twister or cyclone, you want instructions number 2. If it's a tornado with motor on the left side, you want 3. Tornado with motor on the right side, instructions number 4. Now after you determine what type of Wonder Duck you want to add your timer to, first thing I would do is take the head off. Second thing is I would go ahead and take the float out and the retaining wire, and I'd go ahead and take the batteries out. Now the first thing you want to do is to get your wiring out and clip off your old wire caps, and these are gel caps, and you'll have 3 of them, and you just clip them off right at the base of the wire ties. Then untwist everything, and you want to get your wiring where everything is out. Here's the wiring for the switch and the wiring for the batteries. Now the wiring on the batteries have got to be spliced off, and it's very important that you don't cut into these wires because they're sort of thin on this side. But if you do cut into them, just clip it off and start all over. But if you don't have some kind of wire clippers, you can do this with a little pocket knife, but it's harder to do, and it's going to take you a little more time to strip off this old wiring off the ends. Now once you get all the wiring off, the rest of it's pretty easy. Now these are motorcycle switches, and these are a little bit harder. Make sure you don't tear up your switch as you're getting these wires off. Now we've got all our wiring off. This is your timer. This is your instructions. The first thing you want to do is to read instruction number 1. The first instruction says red switch wire to red battery wire. Here's the red battery wire, and here is the red switch wire. So we're going to splice these 2 wires together. Now I could, if I wanted to take my gel caps and put them on now, but you want to wait until after you're through wiring everything. Now you want the decoy with the tail facing to your chest, and this is the left motor, but on the second line it says left black motor wire to red motor wire to black output wire. Now this is the black wire on the left side, this is your red motor wire together, and this is your timer. Now this is your output, and this is your input. So you want to take your black wire on your this is your output, and you want to splice all 3 wires together like this. And then you want to take the other 2 motor wires, the red motor wire and the black motor wire, and splice it with the red output wire on your timer. Now it clearly says output and input on the wiring, so you splice those 3 wires together. Now if you got a little excess right there, I'll clip that off to make it a little cleaner. Now the 4th line says black switch wire to red input wire. This is your red input wire, and this is your black switch wire. So I'm going to splice these two wires together. And that will only leave two wires left. You're going to have your black battery wire to your black input wire, which is your fourth wire on your timer. Now the reason we have 4 wires on the timer is if we only had 2 wires, when the decoy wasn't being used, it would bleed off a little bit of the battery power. Now the next thing we're going to do is put our 2 batteries into the decoy, and then we're going to turn it on, and if it doesn't turn on, rotate the batteries just slightly, and you'll notice that both motors are running. Now I'm going to put my fingers to make sure they're running in the correct direction and they're going on and off. Now if these wires touch, it'll instantly stop it. Now with the motors still running on and off every 5 seconds, you might want to twist these a little bit to get them all the way down. Then you take just a pair of pliers, ordinary pliers, and then put your wire ties on. This is a real quick process, real easy. It's not hard to do. Now I'm not going to tell you that a duck really cares whether the decoy turns itself on and off, but I personally like it. I think it actually helps. I think they work better, but more importantly, it will about double your battery life by having a timer on your decoy. You should get 5 wire ties with your timer and your instructions. Now, on your timer, you'll have a sticky part, but you got to pull this off, and then I normally place it right on the front of the battery bracket, and I don't make any special effort to do the wires, twist them anyway. I just want to tuck them gently up underneath the decoy, get them all put together. Then I'm going to put my wire tie back on. I'm going to put my float back on. Put my head back on, and you now have a decoy, Wonder Duck decoy with a timer. Good luck and good hunting to you.